This is my webcomic Obsidian that I use to keep track of all of my characters and their information, their connections to each other and the world that they exist in, as well as things like task lists and idea boards so that I can be extremely productive and keep all my thoughts and effort in one place. I'm going to teach you how to do this. In fact, I'm going to give you my starter vault, as well as some dividers and cheat sheets I've made to streamline this process so that you can do this and make the organizer of your dreams. So come along with me, let's get in there and let's learn Obsidian. To begin, we're going to take the file that I have linked in the description and you're going to unzip it. Once you unzip it, there's going to be a folder inside of it called Webcomic Base Vault, and we want to copy that. We're going to bring it over into a folder that we create specifically for Obsidian Vaults. I usually have it in my documents, but I've recently started making folders for my vaults itself. And what we're going to do is we're just going to paste it in here. It's going to take a moment to move everything over because of all the plugins that I have installed for you. Just trust it. We will have all these wonderful little icons and things. It'll be worth it. Once you have your folder, I would rename it to whatever your webcomic may be called. I'm naming mine Microcosm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open Obsidian itself. So when you open Obsidian, you're given this, and on the left-hand side are all of my vaults. You won't have anything here. That's absolutely fine. We're not going to create a new vault. We're actually going to open a folder as a vault, and we want to open the folder that we just renamed. So go in, find where you've put it. There's my vaults, Microcosm, and go ahead and click Select Folder. Now, the first thing you're going to see is, do you trust the author of this vault? This is to make sure that you're not putting any weird plugins that you're not aware of. For the purpose of this video, you're going to trust the author and enable plugins. I've never had any problems with security risks with the plugins that I've included in this. So go ahead and click that, and then immediately it's going to change everything and it's going to put you into the Community Plugins tab. It will just do this pretty much automatically. If you open this and it looks totally different, don't fret. If you click on the Appearance tab, so you might have like this atrocious orange color. You can get rid of this by clicking on Dark instead, and it'll switch it over to what I'm using for this tutorial specifically. You can do whatever you want eventually, but for this, we're going to use Dark Theme. And also I've provided a custom app icon for your little, your bar down there. So I gave you a star. You can put anything you want to put here. And click on Community Plugins and just make sure that everything is like kind of turned on the way that I have things turned on. One is turned off. Don't worry about it. You might have to check for updates later. But for now, we should be pretty set. Your community plugins are in their own little section on the left-hand side. These are where all of them sit, and every time you click on one of these, you're able to edit that specific plugin. Your Shiba-Inu theme is right here. This is where you change the colors for everything that you can possibly imagine. Your accent colors, your font colors are hidden in here for bold, italic, and etc. I have a little cheat sheet for you that explains and shows kind of where your colors are right now. We're not going to worry about this just yet, though. Over here, you want to click on Files, and this is the welcome note that we start with that I made that explains some things about like where your templates are, and this is primarily where we're going to do the bulk of our work. With your vault, I have included some really neat things. I have dividers that are kept inside of tools, under images, and then your individual files are in the dividers. But if you click up underneath where it says cheat sheets. We'll click on here, and there's a text cheat sheet. That's where this is kept, in case you need to reference it. I've taught you how to do headings, how to insert images using links specifically, as well as how to resize those images. And I've also shown you how task lists will look as well. But we also want to come over here and look at the divider master list. These are all the dividers that I've made and provided for you to use in your Obsidian however you want. And if you think that these look great and you would like them in another color, you can absolutely get them on my coffee in different colors. Pay what you want. And it'll help you edit things to make it really, really have, whatever you want for an aesthetic. It'll look really nice. And you can also import your own dividers. You can, you can draw your own dividers or upload things from Tumblr. Whatever you really feel like doing, you will be able to do. This is the area where you're mostly going to be working, this middle section right here. Your tabs will show up here. This is where all of your notes and folders will be located right here on the left. This is where you'll be spending a lot of time. I've provided a timer for you. I usually stand up and stretch every hour. You can change between working, and I also have a break. Right now I have them set for 21 minutes, but you can click this little icon down here and you can change the time for, I'm going to change this to 15 minutes for a break. And when you click on the numbers themselves, they will start ticking down, and afterwards they will make a little noise, which you can change the sound that it plays also by clicking on the little gear down here. And you want to find the timer. No, this is the wrong one. We want the Pomodoro timer, is which one that is. And you're able to put a custom audio here, but it has to be in the vault itself. I can show you how to add things to the vault later. But for now, it's just going to tick down, and that's a really handy thing to have. So next we're going to deal with, I've provided you with some templates, and we're going to make a folder specifically for the template. So you're going to go up here, you're going to type templates, and I like to add icons. So if you right click and you click change icon, I'm just going to look up like a little, like a template icon that I want. I use icons on my folders pretty much all the time. But what we're going to do is you can also change the color of your icons pretty easily right there. The theme will automatically do things for you also, so you don't have to worry too much about it. You can get crazy with it later. But what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a note to put the template itself into. So we're going to make a character template first. So what you do is you click on new note. This is like the thing that you're going to be doing pretty much the most when you're in Obsidian itself. And you're going to start with, you have to name your note. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a template for characters. For every single time I make a character, I'm going to want to have this template easily insertable, so I can just do whatever. In your folder that you unzipped, there is another folder called templates, and I have the character profile text in here. It looks like this. It's a little intimidating to look at first, but just right click, select all, copy it, and then go ahead and paste it in the note that you just made. And voila, it posts everything and it looks pretty cool. But we're gonna look at kind of what we have here for a moment. I have sections for the rundown. I have like a nice like little image right here. You need to put your character template into the actual templates folder, and I will show you why. When you go to templates under core plugins, you want to click on that. And I'm actually going to move the templates folder into tools. I think that's a really good idea to do. And we're going to call back to that right here by clicking on it and making sure it highlights tools templates. And now we can immediately summon that template whenever we want to make a character. So we end up with this right here. So I want to make a character that will have all of this information already on it. And we're not going to actually edit the template itself. We're going to make a new note that will house our character. So I'm going to show you how to change the image. This is always going to pop up on here for this for now. I have a spot for like if you want musical inspirations or like just something in general, as well as like an extra little piece of info here. I have the rundown, like a quick description of the character themselves. We have a section for bonds, which will link characters to each other. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And then also a box that is literally just for their entire backstory. And then whatever tags you want. By clicking on a tag, it will do all kinds of interesting things. And I will show you that once we make someone. So let's actually look at this bar on the left for a second. This is where you're able to do the open command palette is what you're going to use the most. This allows you to access everything you're allowed to do inside of Obsidian. All you have to do is search things up and it will narrow your search for you and you'll be able to find whatever you want to do inside of your notes or boards or whatever else you're currently working in. Over here, this is how you look at your graph. This is how you create a new canvas. Templater, I don't really do much with. I think that by clicking, I'm going to accidentally click on this guy for a second. This is an encounter builder for Dungeons and Dragons. It's very interesting. I was hoping that you could right click and delete these, but I don't think you actually can. So I'm just going to close out of this bad boy. But what we're going to do is we're going to make our first character and actually start using the vault and the template that we just added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder for my characters. And, you can call it characters. I'm actually going to call it my main cast. And I'm going to have my main 3 characters in here. And I'm going to change my icon to these 3 stars. That's what I usually use. And the first character that we're gonna put this template onto, his name is Jeff. So what we're gonna do is we're going to click on New Note, and I'm gonna go ahead and type his name in. His full name is Jeff Nort Davis, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the left where we have our command palette, and I'm going to type in the word template, and it's going to say that I can insert a template. And because we have it in the right folder, we're able to immediately just click on character template, and it immediately drops all of that information right here. And this is where we can edit things and make things look really how we want. So I'm going to show you, in order to edit things within a callout, which is that box on top, you have to click on it and it's going to show you a bunch of really intimidating code. But if you look, there's little places here where you can put your own information and add information. If you have some knowledge of HTML, it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration. I'm going to change my image by going to I use Image Baby, and I'm just gonna go in here to where the link is hiding, and I'm gonna replace it with a link to an image that I want to use for Jeff. And we're gonna click on, right now we're in editing mode, and you're able to switch and it'll just show you everything as it appears. You're not able to click on anything or edit stuff when you're in view only mode. Like it'll only let you highlight things, it won't let you change stuff. So make sure that you're in editing mode in order to change things that you want. I'm gonna change and put his name here. As long as I don't remove the exclamation point, it will be fine. Anything that I've written lorem ipsum on, you guys are free to go in and edit. I'm gonna go ahead and just put his name right here because that's the name that he uses for the website that he's on. So this changes it to his name. And then if I click in any of these spots, I'm able to change his information. It's going to jump up, but I'm going to add some of his info in the places that in the fields that I've left. As long as you copy paste things how I have them set up, it would be fine. Also, right now the image is 500 pixels wide. You can change that by inserting different numbers where I have the 500. Like by putting 250, now he's got a little icon. But I really like having like a nice big images on my vault, especially for the main characters. So I'm gonna put that there and I'm gonna fix it. I also have it centered. You don't always have to put that there, but for inside of the callouts, I like having them centered so they don't look weird. I have spaces for everything that I want to add to him, but I also want to show you what happens when you connect two characters together. So I'm going to make another character. His name is tadashi-aikawa, and we're going to go back over here. We're going to insert our template again, and it's right at the top because we just did it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into my Image Baby like little area that I have. I've uploaded a ton of images, and I'm going to take that image and I'm going to put it in his little spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you how we are going to connect characters together and keep Obsidian, like let it do its magic, right? So once we have the image that we want, we're going to just take the URL again, to highlight it, we're going to insert the image that we want instead, switch over to read mode. There he is, there's our boy. And so now I want to connect Jeff and Tide together, and I'm going to do that by going to the edit, and I'm going down to bonds, and I'm going to link to Tide's entire note. And to do this, we're going to use 2 brackets, and as we do that, Tide will show up. All of your notes will show up when you do that, but as you start typing, it'll autofill. And I'm just going to say that they are like friends, right? This is a friend. And there he is. Now he's under bonds, and you can hover and see the note, or you can click on him and immediately go to his note. And I'm also going to scroll down here, and I'm going to add Jeff by hitting, I have an extra one here that's going to bite me in the butt in a second. But I'm going to insert Jeff. I have to get rid of the extra bracket or it's not going to work very well. But I'm going to also say friend. We're going to say friend. They're friends. Now, what this does is it not only puts them so that you're able to jump back and forth very easily, but it also does something very interesting on the graph. Now, because I've given you some notes automatically, there are some extra floaty boys in here that you don't really have to worry about. What we want to look at is Tide and Jeff, right? There's a line between them. They're connected. And we're able to kind of see that they have this connection. And as you add things to your notes, it's slowly going to connect everybody together. And you can zoom out and you can see like the full picture. And the more people who are connected, like the more notes that have notes attached to it, the larger that the node itself will become on the graph. So, when I have my main characters, if you click on the tags will immediately show up. Every single note that you have that specific tag will show up in the search bar section on the left. So you're able to see all of exactly who has that tag. And I'm going to use main boy as a tag real quick just to show you something with him, and we're also going to add it to Jeff really quickly. And because we have it already once, it's going to automatically fill main boy. And if we go back to our graph view, we're going to click on the settings for the graph, and there's a bunch of these groups automatically here. You can delete all of these guys. This kind of got brought over because I had so many vaults together to make this one into what it is right now. But if you click on new group and we search up for a specific tag, there's our main boy tag, and if we click on it, you'll see that Tithe and Jeff have turned red. And this is a really good way to organize characters versus locations and items, or even just like plot points, depending on their severity or whatever. It really depends on how you want to make your graph look. And there's different ways that you can play with the forces, that like it's how far nodes are away from each other. You can also do with like the size of the nodes. You can do how much distance is between them. You can really cater this to make it look exactly how you want it. I don't generally mess with this very much until I'm like really deep into it, but this is a really cool way to keep track of everyone and just kind of see what all you have going on. So you're able to, that's one way that you're able to keep track of things. I'm going to go ahead and move Jeff and Tide into their folders where they belong. And I'm going to do I think I want to add an image. I want to start making my Obsidian a little prettier. I don't want that, but what we're going to do is I'm going to drag an image into Obsidian so that I can have it on my side, like the little sidebar right there. I want my cover to be there, actually. So we're going to grab that really quickly, and we're going to... You have to kind of have a note made, I believe, right? Because if you take an image and just try to drag it into nothing, like kind of like all willy-nilly, it's not going to do what you want it to do. So like if you just take an image and I'm grabbing my cover from my folder and I'm going to bring it over here, and it's going to immediately be like, no, denied, you can't do that. So what you actually need to do is you need to have a note to drag it into, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a note that's kind of like a master note for sliding my images into, right? I'm going to call it image bolt. And when I drag my cover in here now, it immediately shows up. So not only did it add it to this note, if you look over to the left where all of our files and stuff are, there is an image that has just been put there. It's like a note that's just the image itself. And what you can do is I would keep a folder for like your aesthetic images as well. So I'm just gonna make an aesthetic, and an aesthetic folder really quickly and put that in with images, and I'm gonna give it a cute little icon. I think the moon's fine. Let's just grab the moon, and I'm gonna put my image right in there. But if you click on the image itself, you can then drag it over to its own spot, or like I'm just gonna put it like right up top, right here. And then you can drag little things around. So that is there now, and I think it looks really nice. I'm gonna keep it there. And now we're going to move the graph. I like having my graph like right where I can see it also and access it. And then for the bottom right, I usually have a note where I kind of just keep my thoughts together. So let me organize everyone for a second. And then I'm gonna make a new note, and I'm just gonna call it random thoughts for right now. And I'm gonna put placeholder text. I'm just gonna put lorem ipsum here as well for now. And I'm going to keep this random thoughts down in the bottom right. So as I'm working kind of in the middle and getting a lot of things done here, if I have a random thought and I don't want to make a new note or whatever, I could just, type over here really quickly and it'll do exactly what I want, and I can work much faster and much more seamlessly while I'm jumping around. Okay, we're almost done. What we're gonna do right now really quick is we're gonna make another little tab, and we're actually gonna click over here where it says create new canvas, and I'm gonna show you how the canvas works just for a minute here. This is a really good way to come up with storyboard ideas and even just inspiration for your comic. You generally get your way around here by using the spacebar and zooming in and out. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can make a card itself. I'm going to make the Jeff situation here, and so that's its own little card that is like specifically for the canvas. And I'm gonna put it up here, and then I'm going to actually grab Jeff's note. Just like this, and we're going to drag him right over here, and you're able to see everything within the note itself right here on the canvas, which is really, really convenient, really fast. Also, it kind of like is going to click into each other and line up really, really nicely. You're able to make groups. You can highlight things, and by clicking this button, it will group things together. I'm going to call this Jeff Stuff, and you could also change the color of your entire grouping. That's a way that you can do it. And then I'm also going to make another note real quick, and I'm going to call it Tithe Ideas. And you can change the size of your little boxes and stuff like that. As you drag things along, it'll also show you it'll align with other things. I'm going to bring Tithe in here. I'm going to group him. Let's make him orange. Let's do orange. Cool. And I want to name his stuff, Tide stuff. And then what's really, really fun about the canvas is you're able to kind of like connect things to each other like this. See? And you can move things around. You can connect things to the top, to the bottom, like to like the four sides. You can also put things in between. So you have little notes in between the arrows themselves. Also, the canvas allows you to drag and drop images on it freely. I'm going to grab just some of the art for the comic itself, and I'm going to bring it on over here. There is a way to make it so the images don't have their file name up top. I have to remember how to do it. I'll put it in the description if I remember how to do so. But you're able to put in images, and then you can also, I believe you can even, you can link from images themselves. So that's a really fun thing that you can do. This is a great way to work with inspirations. I also use these cards and stuff to create story beats, like this happens, then this happens. It's a really, really, really cool way to get all your thoughts together. And Another thing that I do a lot of the time is I'll have tasks hidden in here also. So if you type this, it will create a little task. And I did provide a sheet that has all of your tasks that we'll look at. But we're gonna, there we go. And so you can add those, and if you click them, you can check those bad boys off. So this is also a really good way to just have a flow chart of like things you need to get done. And you can also just like straight up like put them inside of your oh, there's an undo, redo. You can set it to read only. You can have it so the objects snap. I prefer having them able to do that. But yeah, this is a really fun way. You can also just drag things into groups and it'll change its color and everything just like that. That's a really nifty way to do things a little more chaotically. And I really enjoy doing it. So what we're gonna do, every single time you paste an image on a canvas, it's going to add it. So you're gonna have to keep track of them and keep everything kind of organized. I'm also going to move the whole canvas itself into its own folder eventually. I think I want to show you guys one other thing, and then I'm gonna work in here for a little bit, and then we're gonna look back at what we've created. But first, let's make a Kanban board. If you're familiar with Kanban or Trello, this is literally the exact same thing, except for it's inside your Obsidian. So this is a really good way that I like to keep track of art that I need to do. So I have art that I need for chapter 1. I'm going to do art needed for like the website, art needed for, let's say, merch, and then I'll have a complete row as well. And to add a card, you click add card, you type your information. I'm going to put that I need a Jeff full body reference because I really need to do that. And I'm going to have little tags here also that it's art, that I'm the one who needs to do it, and it is time sensitive. I'm gonna put that there, and you used to be able to pick these up and drag them, but it's changed a little bit. So now I believe you have to click onto the little, the 3 dots instead of dragging. The 3 dots are the way to go. Dragging it does not work at all. So if you click on the little hamburger, you can move to another list. And that is how I do that. This is a really, really cool way to keep track of like tasks that you need to do inside of Obsidian itself. So you can also name your little Kanban, and I'm gonna just call it art needed. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to do a little bit of work in here, and I'm going to show you a little speed run of it, and then we're gonna check in and look at how things look in about an hour. Alright, so I actually ended up working a little bit more than an hour on this. I have all of Jeff's current information filled out. As you can see, some of his bonds are not highlightable yet, and as you're writing, you know, thoughts and stuff, if you have a thought that you want to not focus on for a minute, you can just put them in brackets and then keep on typing along, and then once you actually click on what you just wrote, it will make its own note immediately. So that will help you out a ton, keep things kind of streamlined, make sure that things are going fast. You'll get really used to working in here. I was able to do like all of my inventory for characters, including his little trench coat. I got his image in there that has his little Ouija board on there. As you can see, the graph view is a little bit more different. We've got a lot more notes going on in here now, and this Obsidian is a little bit more fleshed out. It's going to be much crazier as I keep on going, but you're able to see everyone's connections. The pink nodes, I haven't actually made those yet, but I will in time. If you click on them either in the graph or wherever you typed them, it'll immediately make a new one. I have a bunch of folders now, and I'm really happy with how things look, and I'm going to be using this Obsidian pretty religiously from now on, so I really hope it helped you guys out. I hope you love it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Have a bunch of fun, guys. I'll see you around. Also, make sure you look at the community plugins. There are thousands. There are so many. Explore, learn, have all the fun you guys can possibly have, and I'll see you on the next one.